Week 15, we got Philly versus Seattle. So Philly at this point in time is favored by 4. I'm going to take Seattle because the model shows that it's going to be a much closer game than that. Uh, quite frankly, so when you come up here to the top, we can see that the model has it pretty much about even. That's going to match right over here with what we see with our median scores as well. You can see you got a little bit more upside there with Seattle, and then the confidence intervals are showing that it's exactly dead even. Only when I come down here to the Bayesian does it say, both teams have been playing better than than the model has been predicting, and in that scenario, it gives Philly an advantage. But that's still a very close advantage. These two teams look to be pretty equally matched. The one thing I will point out is if you look over here, we've got a below average rushing capability then for Seattle, and then not a real good, a poor defensive rush as well. Meanwhile, when we look at the very same types of stats, very similar between the two teams on their offensive passing capability, but they've been slowly deteriorating over the course of the last few weeks. Then when we come down here, both of these teams have played the same teams in the last couple of weeks. Both have lost to San Francisco and Dallas, but Philly has not looked good in either one of those losses. Meanwhile, Seattle nearly beat Dallas, and quite frankly, they looked really good against San Francisco in the first half, and in the second half, San Francisco just blew them. They pulled away. So when you look at the more recent head-to-head matchup, it looks very similar to what I think. I think Philadelphia ultimately is a better team. They just they're missing on something. I don't know what. So let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers here. So Seattle is showing it's going to have a better passing game. Meanwhile, Philly's going to have an edge in the rushing game. We come over here to the right. It looks like their offensive line is breaking down. Earlier in the year, they were definitely protecting Jalen Hurts a bit more. He's getting hit a bit more, particularly in this matchup as well. I will point out that Seattle is throwing some more interceptions than what they probably should, and both teams it looks like are going to be struggling with that fumble issue as well. I think where the big difference is going to be is the big plays. So Seattle is definitely showing the propensity for getting more big plays than what Philadelphia is as well. Sorry, please forgive the bad drawing. I'm on the road this week and I don't have all my equipment. But anyhow, I think you get the point. The Philly offense is slowing down. They're not protecting their quarterback. They're not getting the big plays. Meanwhile, Seattle, they're not a good team, but they're not a bad team either. They're somewhere in between. So now we're starting to see, is Philly going to be a really good NFC, or are they a mediocre NFC team that is kind of sinking a little bit as we get deeper into the season? This will definitely be a big game to see how well they respond to these last two losses. So this will be a fun one to watch. If you like what you listen to, click like and subscribe. If you've got a question or a comment, drop me a note.